Didi, Manchester United supporters and Mourinho fans, if there are any left, will say, look, hold on a minute, these guys are second in the Premier League. They just beaten Liverpool. They're 16 points behind Manchester City, but they seem to be, you could argue, the best of the rest. No crisis. I would say, I would respond to that by saying, where does the Mourinho project at Manchester United go from last night? The season is effectively over. They've got to play for a top 4 slot. But
have the cup, Eamon.
They have the cup as well. Now, just this point about the development of young players in Mourinho's career. Rashford in particular seems to me to be somebody who could be a world-class player. He has an awful lot of attributes, but he's hardly got a game this year, and when he does get a game and comes on against Liverpool, well, starts against Liverpool, scores 2 really good goals, immediately he's shifted from the left to the right, which has a dramatic effect. He can't come in and use his right foot the way he could. I mean, he's no record, Mourinho, has he, for nurturing young players, bringing them on and improving them the way significantly Guardiola has done at Manchester City with people like Sterling, De Bruyne and Fernandinho.
Yeah, that's right, and that's always been the Manchester United way. And don't forget, he's the guy who sold Lukaku and who sold De Bruyne when he was at Chelsea.
And Salah.
He's not got a track record of having patience or the skill to bring young players through. And I think the whole thing is a big misunderstanding. Now, people may say he won the Europa League and the League Cup. I think last season he won 2 cups. He gets in the Champions League again. He may still win the FA Cup. But I think there's a way of doing it. And, we shouldn't always mix the performance on the pitch with the money spent. But
yes,
obviously, in Man United's case, you have to, because they spend fortunes on players. And Manchester United, I think, is about being successful, but also about the Manchester United way. There's a way of doing things. And if you look at the football now, it's dreadful. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago when they played Sevilla first, I think I called it anti-football. It's got nothing to do with football. They work football, they don't play football. And they want to stop the opposition, try to get a set piece or try to get one on the counter-attack and score. And this has never been Man United's way. That's why I think they're at a dead end with him.
Right.
I think his comments after the game when he sat in his chair when he beat United with Porto and Real Madrid, I think we were very disrespectful towards the fan base, towards the board, towards the people who brought him to the club.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a manager who feels the need to praise himself for his recent achievements with Porto and Real Madrid when he just got knocked out and gets paid fortunes by Manchester United to manage the club, I think it's a lack of respect, and it seems to be all about him.
Yeah.
When it should be all about the players and improving these players. And as you said, in Rashford, I think they've got a potential top-class player, but he can't get a game. So you wonder how much longer the people of Manchester United keep watching it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point, John. That post-match press conference in which he did say, OK, Manchester United have lost tonight. I've been here, I beat Manchester United. It's self-serving, but it's also an insult to Ferguson, Bobby Charlton, people who really have some muscle at the club, and also to the club's tradition.
Well, I couldn't believe it when I heard it, Eamon. When I was watching it, didn't go on for very long. I thought it was cut off. But what he said was incredible. He was sort of saying, well, what's the big deal? We've been knocked out of the Champions League. Yeah. We've been knocked, I helped to knock them out before. Bringing it back, as you say, it back to... And he always brings everything back to himself. Yes. And he's an immature kid, I think, in many ways. I think he's a brilliant coach and has been a brilliant coach, a successful one. But definitely when it comes to taking the responsibility for defeats, he's never been there. He's always been there when they win things. He's responsible for all of that. I think he's a very, very immature lad, but definitely an insult last night to the fans in particular. It's as if the fans are going home. Probably a lot of them very, very upset with the way they played and been knocked out of the Champions League. And here's the manager who's responsible for picking the team and everything else saying, what's the problem?
Yeah.
It's no big deal. We've been knocked out. In fact, I helped to knock them out before.
Yeah.
This is
it's mad.
Unbelievable.
Surreal.